Gajendra is explaining different qualities of the Lord. Now from text 25 to 29, Gajendra is explaining that how the Lord is Supreme Master. Okay, and this is the last section of Gajendra's prayers. Okay. Jiji Vishena Mihamuya Kim Antar Vaishchavritye Bhayonya Ichhami Kalena Yasya Palvas Tasyat Lokavarnasya Mucham. Jiji Vishay, wish to live long. Na, not I here in this slide. Amuya, or in the next slide. I do not wish to live upon being saved from this dangerous position. Now you see, he started thinking even higher goals. Kim, what is the value? Anta, internally, Bahi, externally, Cha, and Avartya, covered by ignorance. If Yonya, in this birth, as an elephant, Ichhami, I desire, Kalena, because of the influence of time, Na, there is not a Yasya, of which Vipalva, Annihilation, Tasya, that Atma Log Avarnasya, from the covering of self realization, Moksham, liberation. If you focus on this word to word meaning, gradually, by you don't have to go especially for Sanskrit study. Just you will get some idea. So when you read a verse, you will get little idea what is explained in the verse by practice. That's why every time you read word to word. Okay. Otherwise everything Sanskrit text will be like something for you. So any no connection, you will not be able to find the connection between translation and the original. Okay. Translation. I do not wish to live anymore. What is this? Just now you are praying, please protect me. The crocodile is killing me. Now you're saying, I don't want to live anymore. What is this? Eh? Are you confused what you are asking? No, he got now higher understanding. I do not wish to live anymore after I am released from the attack of the crocodile. What is the use of an elephant's body covered externally and internally by ignorance? Externally, this elephant body is covering me, and internally, ignorance is covering me. That's why we have to understand. Externally, this man body is covering me. Internally, my ignorance is covering me. I'm thinking I am Indian, I am man, I am Brahmin, I am this coverings are there. How I will see Krishna? These many coverings, thick covering, how I can connect to Krishna? Suppose Krishna is coming to hug me. These many coverings I have, how I will feel the sense of Krishna, right? So I have to remove all these coverings. I simply desire eternal liberation. Now he is asking higher thing. I simply desire eternal liberation from the covering of ignorance. That covering is not destroyed by the influence of time. In this material world, every living entity is covered by the darkness of ignorance. Therefore, the Vedas enjoin that one should approach the Supreme Lord through the spiritual master, who is described in offered prayers in the Gautamiya Tantra as follows. So, because we are in the dark ignorance, who will dispel this ignorance? Who will remove this ignorance? Om Ajnanati Mirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah. Ajnana Timirandhasya, Ajnan, ignorance. Timir, the darkness. No, the darkness of ignorance is making me blind. Om Ajnan Timirandhasya. I am blind out of this darkness of ignorance. Jnananjana Shalakaya. And you brought the torchlight of jnana. Shalakaya means the torch light. In that olden days, they will have one big rod and on side some fire. That is called shalaka. Olympic one guy used to run. No, long back. Now I don't. But long back, I used to see one guy will run in the Olympic and having one this. That is called. That is for bringing light. So that is made of jnana, jnananjana. That in my eyes the darkness of ignorance was there. So I became andhasya, blind. But now you have applied the anjana, means the kajal of jnana, knowledge. And you brought light, the torch light of jnana in my life. Chakshurunmilitam yena. So then you have opened my eyes actually. That Sri Guru, Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah. I offer my obeisances to that. So that's what is very important. I offer my respectful obeisances unto my spiritual master, who, with the torchlight of knowledge, has opened my eyes, which were blinded by the darkness of ignorance. Although one may struggle for existence in this material world, to live forever is impossible. Although one may struggle for existence in this material world, to live forever is impossible. One cannot just go on. One must understand, however, that this struggle for existence is due to ignorance, or otherwise every living being is an eternal part of the Supreme Lord. There is no need to live as an elephant or man, American or Indian. One should desire only to achieve liberation from the cycle of birth and death. This is the direct idea. Okay. Because of ignorance, we consider but what to do? What problem is big now? People are going Tirupati, Balaji, or so many temples. They will do so much surety to climb and all. And what they'll ask there, get me America visa. You already reached Tirupati. You ask, get me out of from here. Now, is it Gajendra understood? He's asking. The people are asking foreign visa, some nice girl to get married, some Bangla and all. Because of ignorance, we consider every life offered by nature to be happy and pleasing. But in the degraded life within this material world, from the life of Lord Brahma down to that of an end, no one can actually be happy. This is very important to understand. Because of ignorance. Because of ignorance, what is there? We consider every life offered by the material nature, what we consider that it is to be happy. This is very, very difficult situation. Why it is difficult? Because every living entity is in some condition and thinking that this is happy and pleasing. He's set in there. Like a drunkard is after drinking, he's set. He's lying down inside the drainage, but he's set. I'm happy. Don't disturb me. He's lying on the footpath, no problem. Like that, out of ignorance. See how you are. This is just sentence. This is a theory. You will not understand. I'll give you example. Then we'll understand. A pig, hog eats stool. Why eats? Because he enjoys. He's enjoying it. This is the idea here. That any life of we human may think, oh, such a nasty thing. He's eating stool. Pig is enjoying it. This is the idea. So that's what Prabhupada is writing. Prabhupada words are not so easy to, like it's not like just simply he wrote something very powerful. He's saying everybody is thinking that my situation is to give me happiness. He's considering, that's why he's not trying to come out of it. He's not trying to come out. He's saying, how are you? I'm fine, sir. Then you're fine, then be there, na? So people are thinking this material world is peaceful. That's why you ask him to take halwa, yeah, or a stool, he will eat stool. He will not eat halwa. Because, so that's why there is one story that Indra, when he became big, he was enjoying that. Brahmaji came, okay, your punishment is over, come. Then he said, no, 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 you see, how can I leave my family? I am such a pig. And I have a she pig who loves me very much. And we have small, small baby pigs. And see how nice sound they make, you know, how nicely they jump in the drainage, and the water comes out. So nice it is, so cute it is. Brahma is saying, what an ignorance it is. You are Indra. He said, I may be, but now you see how nice stool is there. And how my children's small, small piggies, they love me so much. When they come and hug me, I feel so nice. This is the problem. Everybody is thinking like that. Even a small insect is thinking that, oh, so nice situation. That's why this birth, life, this birth and death is going on. So the fortunate are those jivas who are in the human form of body, because they can talk about this, they can understand this, because they can read Gita and Bhagavad. But after coming to human body, see, who are in animal body, they are unfortunate, and who are in human body, they are fortunate. Why? Because they can understand Gita and Bhagavad knowledge. But after coming to human body, not taking knowledge from Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, they are the most unfortunate. उनका कुछ नहीं हो सकता. Okay, so this has to be understood that this in the third canto, 29th chapter, Lord Kapila also saying that everybody thinks that his situation is set, nice, and it will give him happiness, and he never tries to come out and try for liberation or bhakti or moksha or the higher transcendental. Okay, so everybody is thinking that the life offered by Maya is too happy and pleasing, but in the degraded life within this in this material world, whether one is Brahma or one is Ant, no one can actually be happy. This is that truth. This truth we have to understand. Even Brahma or even a small ant, nobody can be happy in this material world, because this is Dukkale. We are making so many plans to live happily, but there cannot be any happiness in this material world. However, we may try to make a permanent settlement in this life or that. Whatever you try. This is Dukkhalaya. One has to understand and try to come out and go to Goloka or Vaikuntha. That's the idea. Very important. Text 26. So हम विश्वसर्जं विश्वं विश्वं विश्ववेदसं विश्वात्मानमजं ब्रह्मं ब्रह्म प्रणतोऽस्मि परम pada saha, that aham, I, the person desiring release from material life, Vishwasarjam, unto him who has created this cosmic manifestation, Vishwam, who is himself the whole cosmic presentation, Avishwam, although he is transcendental to the cosmic manifestation, Vishwa Vedasam, who is the knower or ingredient of this universal manifestation, Vishwa Atmanam, the soul of the universe, Ajam, who is never born, eternally existing, Brahma, the supreme, Pranata Asmi, I offer my respectful obeisance, Param, who is transcendental, Padam, the shelter. Now fully desiring release, Rajendra Singh, now fully desiring release from material life, fully. I offer my respectful obeisance to the Supreme Person, who is the creator of the universe, who is himself the form of the universe, and who is nonetheless transcendental to this cosmic manifestation. He is the supreme knower of everything in this world, the super soul of the universe. He is the unborn, supremely situated Lord. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Okay. So here 26 sloka is saying that Lord is the master of universe. Sometimes in Bhakti Yoga, Krishna consciousness is preached to the common man. People argue, what is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Where is God? Can you show me? Can you show Krishna to us? In this verse, the answer is given that if we are sufficiently intelligent, we must know that there is someone who has created the entire cosmic manifestation, who has supplied and has become the ingredient for the cosmic manifestation, who is eternally existing, but who is not within the cosmic manifestation. Simply on the basis of this suggestion, one can offer respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Lord. This is the beginning of devotional life. Okay. 27, he will say, Gajendra, that Lord is the master of yoga. Yogarandhit karmano hriday yoga vibhavite yogino yam prapashyanti yogesham tam natosmeham. Yogarandhit karmana, persons whose reactions to good activities have been burnt up by bhakti yoga, hriday, within the core of the heart, yoga vibhavite, completely purified and clean, yogina, mystics who are competent, unto the personality of Godhead, who Prapashyanti directly see Yoga Isham, unto the personality of Godhead, the master of all mystic Vatam, unto Nata Asmi of I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme, the Super Soul, the Master of all mystic yoga, who is, that's why Krishna's name is Yogeshwara, who is seen in the core of the heart by perfect mystics when they are completely purified and freed from the reactions of future activities by practicing Bhakti Yoga. Prabhupada is saying, Purport, the king of the elephants, Gajendra, simply accepted that there must be someone who has created this cosmic manifestation and has supplied its ingredients. Somebody should be there. It's not just by chance or by out of some big bang. No, there is a person who created it. So this should be admitted by everyone, even the most determined atheist. Why then do the non-devotees and atheists not admit this? The reason is that they are polluted by the reactions of their future activities. One must be freed from all the dirt accumulated within the heart due to future activities performed one after another. One must wash off this dirt by practicing Bhakti Yoga, Yoga Randit Karmana. So wherever it says practicing Bhakti Yoga, just understand Shravanam Kirtanam, hearing chanting. Okay, wherever this is called devotion, understand Shravanam Kirtanam, hearing chanting. Okay, this is Bhakti Yoga means chanting, Kirtaniya, Kirtan, Kirtan, Japa, Japa, Katha, Shravanam. Okay, that's what. Yoga Randit Karmana, as long as one is covered by material nature's modes of ignorance, Tamoguna, and passion, Rajoguna, there is no possibility of understanding the Supreme Lord. That is why we have to try to get up early in the morning in chants, or at least we come out of Rajoguna and Tamoguna, and at least we set in the Satoguna. Then we can understand Krishna. Rajoguna and Tamoguna we cannot understand. Tada rajastamo bhava kama lobha dayasya. When one is freed from the modes of ignorance and passion, tamo and rajoguna, one becomes free from the lowest qualities, kama and lobha, lust and greed. This lust and greed, how we will come out? When we come to the satoguna. Just the morning, getting up in the morning with japa is very important. Nowadays, there are so many yogis. Nowadays, there are so many yoga schools to encourage people in developing their lusty desires. This is there nowadays happening. And greed through this Prabhupada writing 50 years back, but still now it is more even. So they are developing, they are encouraging people to develop their lusty desires and greed through the practice of yoga. People are therefore very much fond of so-called yoga practice. The actual practice of yoga, however, is described here. Many people are doing yoga, gym, so that they will get nice body to attract the opposite sex and enjoy the sexual pleasure more nicely. What is the use? So this is all waste of time, energy, and effort. So yoga goal is to attain Krishna. That's what previous yogina sarvesam. What is topmost yoga is Krishna bhajan. Okay. So as authoritatively stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam 12:31, dhyana vasida tadgatena manasa pashyanti yam yogina. A yogi is one who always meditates on the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Who is the yogi? Yogi is the one who is meditating upon Krishna's lotus feet. This is also contained in Brahma Samhita 5.30. Premanjana churit bhakti vilochanena santah sadeva hridayeshu vilokayanti yam shyama sundaram achinta gunaswarupam govindamadi purusham bhajami. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is Shyam Sundar. Yam Shyam Krishna himself with inconceivable, innumerable attributes, Achinta Guna Sarupam. Inconceivable, Achinta, innumerable Guna Sarupam. Okay, attributes whom the pure devotees seek in their hearts of hearts with the eye of devotion, tinged with the self of love. Premanjana Churit Bhakti Vilochanena. Okay, Santa, devotees, Sadeva, always, they should believe, they see in the heart. The Bhakti Yogi constantly sees Shyam Sundar, beautiful Lord Krishna with his blackish body. Because the king of the elephant, Gajendra, thought himself an ordinary animal, he thought himself unfit to see the Lord. In his humility, he thought that he could not practice yoga. In other words, how can those who are like animals in the bodily concept of life and who have no purity of consciousness practice yoga? People who are animalistic, they cannot practice yoga. In the present day, people who have no control over their senses. Animalistic means what? They have no control over senses. Who have no understanding of philosophy and who do not follow religious principles or rules and regulations are nonetheless pretending to be yogis. This is the greatest anomaly in the practice of mystic yoga. Namo namastubhyam sahoyameka शक्तित्रयायाखिलधी गुणाय प्रपन्नपालाय दुरन्तशक्तये तदिन्द्रियाणामनवाप्य वर्तमने Namaha, I offer my respectful obeisances. Namaha, again I offer my respectful obeisances. Tubhyam unto you, Ashya formidable, Vega forces, Shakti Traya, unto the Supreme Person who has threefold potency, Akhila of the universe, the Potentate, Gunaya, who appears as the sense object, Prapanna Palaya, unto the Supreme who gives shelter to the surrendered, Duranta Shaktaye, who possesses energies very difficult to overcome, Kata Indriyana, by persons unable to control their senses. Anavapya, who is unattainable, Vartmane on the path. My Lord, you are the controller of formidable strength in three kinds of energy. You appear as the reservoir of all sense pleasure and the protector of the surrendered soul. You possess unlimited energy, but you are unapproachable by those who are unable to control their senses. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you again. Attachment, greed, and lust are three formidable forces that prevent one from concentrating upon the lotus feet of the Lord. What is that? Attachment, greed, and lust. Three things will stop. These forces act because the Supreme Lord does not like to be realized by non-devotee and atheists. However, when one surrenders unto the however, when one surrenders unto the lotus feet of the Lord, these impediments are withdrawn. Okay. And what is that? See, Krishna does not like to be realized by non-devotee and atheists. So when one surrenders to Krishna, Krishna will take these three obstacles. Okay. These impediments are withdrawn, and one can realize the Supreme Personality of God because he has already asked, surrendered. Na? Therefore, the Lord is the protector of the. Okay, so therefore, the Lord is the protector of the surrendered soul. One cannot become a devotee until one surrenders unto the Lord's lotus feet. Then the Lord gives one the intelligence from within by which one can turn home back to Godhead. Okay, so 28 is look as saying obstacles in thinking of the Lord. So here it is mentioned here that if like Krishna says, "Na Sarvadharman Pratiti," if you surrender unto me, I will save you from all the problems. Okay, and I will also give you Amdadami Buddhi Yogantam. So I will give you Tesam Satadiktanam Bhajtam Priti Kurvakam. If you take shelter of me and if you do bhajan, I will give you Dadami Buddhi Yogantam Mam Yeno Pyanti. How you will come to me, that intelligence I will give to you. I will show you the path. You and I will bring you, but you have to surrender to me. You have to do chanting and hearing. Okay. Nayam Veda Swamatmanam Yachakchatyahandiyahatam Tam Duratyaya Mahatmayam Bhagavanto Asmayam. No, I am people in Java Veda identity yet Shakya by whose influence I am independent. Here by this intelligence, Hatam defeated of the Vatam unto Duratya, difficult to understand Mahatmayam, whose glory is Bhagavatam, the Supreme Personality of God, I am. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by whose illusory energy, the Jiva, who is part and parcel of God, by whose illusory energy, now you remember, by whose illusory energy, Maya, the Jiva, who is part and parcel of God, forgets its real identity because of the bodily concept of life. I take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose glories are difficult to understand. Okay, so in 29, this sloka is saying that Jiva's ignorance due to Maya. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, every living entity, regardless of whether he be human, demigod, animal, bird, or whatever, is part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord and the living entity are intimately related, like father and son. Okay, 1 second. The Lord and the living entity are intimately related, like father and son. Unfortunately, because of material contact, the living entity forgets this and wants to enjoy the material world independently according to his own plan. Okay, this illusion Maya is very difficult to surmount. Maya covers the living entity because of his willingness. Why Maya covers? This is explained. Maya covers the living entity because of his willingness to forget the Supreme Personality of Godhead and make his own plan to enjoy this material. Are not we making our own plan that I will, after 5 years, I will become manager and then CEO, then I will go to foreign, I will enjoy this, I will, because of this only Maya is covering. You come, you want to become, come. So like that Maya is covering. Whoever is making his own plan to search, to enjoy, Maya is taking them. Okay, chalo, chalo. So as long as this contamination continues, the condition, what a line. As long as this contamination continues, the conditioned soul will be unable to understand its real identity and will perpetually continue under illusion life after life. So till the time this contamination is the what contamination? Making plan to enjoy, making to go overtake or control the Maya. As long as we are having this contamination, we will be in this material world. अतः ग्रह क्षेत्र सुताप्त वित्तेर जनस्य मोह अयम अहम ममेति 558 Prabhupada's one of the favorite verses. As long as the living entity is not enlightened so that he may understand his real position, he will be attracted to materialistic life, to house, country or field, to society, sons, family, community, bank balance, and so on. Okay, unless one get enlightenment. That's why that enlightenment will come from Guru, from Bhagavad Gita, from Bhagavatam. So covered by all this, he will continue to think, I am this body and everything related to this body is mine. This materialistic conception of life is extremely difficult to surmount. But one who, very difficult, but one who surrenders to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as did Gajendra, the king of the elephant, comes to enlightenment on the Brahman platform. Brahma Bhut Prasannatma Na Sochati Na Kamchati Sama Sarveshu Bhuteshu Mat Bhakti Bhakti Pram. So if we surrender to Krishna, then we will get the enlightenment. The one who is transcendently situated at once realizes the Supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments or desires to have anything. He is equally disposed toward all living entities. In that state, he attains pure devotional service unto me. Krishna is saying, 1854. Since a devotee is completely on the Brahman platform, he is not jealous of any other living entity. Sama Sarveshu Bhutesu. Okay. So in this way, Gajendra's prayers are completed till text 29. Now text 30 to 33, which are the last 4 verses of this chapter. So here Lord Hari will come and save Gajendra. Sri Shubhuvacha evam Gajendram Uvarnit Nirvishesham Brahmadayo Vivedalingya Vidabhimana Naite Yadopasasripul Nirikhilatmatvat Tatra Kilamara Mayo Harira Virasi. Shishubhacha, Shishubdev Goswami said, Evam in this way, Gajendram and the king of the elephant, Gajendra Upuvarnita, whose description Nirvishesham not directed to any particular person. Okay, not directed to any particular person, but to the Supreme, although he did not know who the Supreme is. Brahma Adya, the demigods, beginning with Brahma, Shiva, Indra, and Chandra, Vivida varieties, Linga Vida, with separate form, Abhimana, considering themselves separate authorities, not Ete, all of Yada, and Upa Sastu, approach, Nikhil Atmatva, because the Supreme Personality of God is the super soul of everyone, Tatra, they are Akhil of the angels, Amara, Maya consisting of the demigods who are only external parts of the body. Hari, the Supreme Personality of God, who can take away everything. Avirshi appeared before the elephant. Sri Shukdev Goswami continued. When the king of the elephant was describing the supreme authority without mentioning any particular person, he was just saying the quality. He did not invoke the demigods headed by Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Indra, and Chandra. Thus, none of them approached him. Nobody came. Everybody is seeing, but nobody came. However, because Lord Hari is the super soul, Purushottam, the personality of Godhead, he appeared before Gajendra. From the description of Gajendra, he apparently was aiming at the supreme authority, although he did not know who the supreme authority is. He conjectured there is a supreme authority who is above everything. Under the circumstances, the Lord's various appearances, such as Brahma, Lord Shiva, Chandra, and Indra, all thought Gajendra is not asking our help. He is asking the help of the Supreme, who is above all of us. As Gajendra has described, the Supreme Lord has various parts and parcels, including the demigods, humans, and animals, all covered by separate functions. Although the demigods are in charge of maintaining different aspects of the universe, Gajendra thought that they were unable to rescue him. Harim vina nev mritim taranti. Very nice. No one can rescue anyone from the dangers of birth, death, old age, and disease. This we have to understand. Harim vina nev mritim. Nobody can save me except Hari. It is only the Supreme Personality of Godhead who can rescue one from the dangers of material existence. Therefore, an intelligent person to get free from this dangerous existence approaches the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not any God. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, those who are unintelligent approach the various demigods for temporary material benefit. Unintelligent will go to Devi Devta, intelligent will go to Krishna. Actually, however, these demigods cannot rescue the living entity from the dangers of material existence. Like other living entities, the demigods are merely external parts of the Supreme Personality of Godhead's transcendental body, as stated in the Vedic mantra, Sa Atma Angani Anya Devata. Okay, so everything is quoted here with the shloka reference. Okay, within the body is the Atma, the soul, whereas the various parts of the body, like the hands and legs, are external. Similarly, the Atma of the entire cosmic universe is Narayan, Lord Vishnu. All the demigods, human beings, and other living entities are parts of his body. Third canto we read this Virat Purana. It may also be concluded that since a tree lives on the strength of its root, and when the root is nourished with water, all the parts of the tree are nourished. One should worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the original root of everything. Although the Supreme Personality of Godhead is very difficult to approach, he is very near to us because he lives within our heart. As soon as the Lord understands that one is seeking his favor by fully surrendering, naturally he immediately takes action. So therefore, although the demigods did not come to the aid of Gajendra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead immediately appeared before him because of his fervent prayer. This does not mean that the demigods were angry with Gajendra. Okay, but actually, when Lord Vishnu is worshipped, all the other demigods are also worshipped, so they were not angry. Yasmin tushte jagat tushtam. If the Supreme, this is very important. If the Supreme Personality of Godhead is satisfied, everyone is satisfied. यथा तरोर मूल निश्चनेन द्रव्यन्ति तत् स्कन्द भुजोपशाखा प्राणोपराचयतीन्द्रियाणां तथैव सर्वारहणम् अच्युतेज्या. Very important shloka. As pouring water on the root of a tree energizes the trunk, branches, twigs, and everything else, and as supplying food to the stomach enlivens the senses and limbs of the body, so simply worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead through devotional service automatically satisfy the demigods who are parts of the Supreme Personality. When the Supreme Personality of Godhead is worshipped, all the demigods are satisfied. Tam tadvat आर्तम उपलब्ध जगन्निवासा स्तोत्रम निशम्यति विदयि सह संस्तुवति छन्दोमयेन गरुडेन समुह्यमान शक्रायुधोऽभ्यगमदाशु गजेन्द्रा. Okay, so let us rejoin. Now it's going to disconnect. Okay, so we'll rejoin. Okay, I wish you can rejoin now. We will end the